Hey there, friend. Welcome back to Daily Dose Radio here in the Bible Bistro. Well, come on in here with me and let's sit down together, open your Bible up, and we're going to study today Psalm 132, verses 6 and 7. Now, we've been in this psalm this week, and this is another of the Ascent Psalms. So we're headed up to Jerusalem, and as we're headed up to Jerusalem, we're reminded by the psalmist here that David has made an oath. And his oath is recorded for us in verses 3 and 4, and actually in verse 5 as well. That whole piece, 3, 4, 5, is his oath. And now today we're going to come to 6 and 7. We're going to see a little historical information here, which also points us to Messiah, to Jesus. So we're going to talk about all that today here on Daily Dose Radio. So if you have your Bible open, why don't we begin with verses by reading verses 6 and 7. And if you don't have a Bible, or if you're away from your Bible in your car or someplace you can't get to it, I'll be glad to read these for us. So verse 6, Lo, we heard of it at Ephratah. We found it in the fields of the wood. We will go into his tabernacles. We will worship at his footstool. What a wonderful piece of poetry for the man or the woman, the boy, the girl that's traveling to go to Jerusalem to the festival to sing. This is beautiful because we're going to go to his tabernacles. We're going to worship at his footstool. So you can see how this fits into the whole milieu of the going up to Jerusalem 3 times a year to worship. If this is actually their traveling songbook, then as they're walking towards the city, and they're getting close now, right? Because this is the 13th step. So they're close. And maybe they even see the city afar off. Perhaps they can see the temple up on top of that hill. And they begin to sing this song. And they're singing this song about going to the tabernacles. This is beautiful. So in verse 6 we heard of it at Ephratah. Ephratah is an area there in Judah. And of course a lot of these place names are named after people. And Ephratah is named after the wife of Caleb. And we find that recorded for us in 1 Chronicles chapter 2, there in verse 50. These were the sons of Caleb, the son of Hur, the firstborn of Ephratah, Shobal, the father of Kiriath Jearim. All right, so notice we have Caleb, his wife's name, Ephratah, the father of, or the founder of Kiriath Jearim, the city of Jearim, is his firstborn, Shobal. Okay, so we come back to Psalm 132, and now we know where we are, and we know that Ephratah and Kiriath Jearim, right there is Bethlehem. And so the ancient church would look at this and say, oh, well, this is all about the nativity. This is about Christ's advent, coming to the world. This is about Micah's prophecy of little Bethlehem not being so little, because right there in Ephratah, that's where Jesus was born. On those hillsides, around that area is where the angels appeared. So the ancient church looks at this and they see the Bible story here, and then go to 7. We go into his tabernacles, we worship at his footstool. What exactly did the kings do when they came to Bethlehem? Well, they found the virgin and the child, and they're there, and they're worshiping at his foot. They're worshiping before the King of Kings, right? These kings come and worship before the King. And so 6 and 7 can be seen in the light of the Christmas story. Isn't that wonderful? So, and of course, we go back to 1 Samuel and 2 Samuel, and we find out that that's exactly where the ark was in that area. It was kept in the city of Kiriath Jearim. And so, and we go there, and what are we going to find? We're going to find the ark, and that's what we found. And then we brought it up to Jerusalem, and then we worshiped there in Jerusalem at that tent that David pitched for it. I should mention, there in verse 6, it says, we found it in the fields of the wood. That's the King James. This is a poetic form for the city Kiriath Jearim. That's why I keep mentioning that. The field of the wood. The Hebrew word yar means wood, and Yarim means forests. So the city of the forest, or the city of the woodlands, is Kiriath Jearim. Now you go there now, there's not a whole lot of woodlands. That whole country's been denuded. But that's what it was then. Anyway, so join me tomorrow. We'll finish up this half of 132 by reading verses 8 and 9. So I hope to see you then.